The Bullhorn is all things regarding the Lethbridge Bulls of the Western Canadian Baseball League. The Bullhorn has the latest news on the team, interviews with coaches and players, signings, game recaps, and updates on all the events happening at Spitz Stadium. The Bullhorn is your place for all things baseball in Lethbridge. Get your horns up for the Bullhorn, the Lethbridge Bulls baseball reports.
All right, the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report up and running on Rogers TV and the Maple Leaf Baseball Network YouTube channel today. We got a really special, fun-filled show for you. First off, we got a longtime Lethbridge Bull back for his 5th year. He's down in Nebraska right now at Belleview University, joining that band of merry men. Carter Claerhout joins us for his second time round on the Bullhorn to talk a little bit of baseball and what he plans on doing later on after his baseball career is all said and done. It's a few stories along the way as well. Then Gord Watt stopped in this morning, day after his 61st birthday. Sorry, Gord, for telling everybody your age, but no one thought you were a year over 50. But Gord Watt stopped in to talk about his days in professional baseball back in the Pioneer League and what keeps him in the game. Then Kevin's Korner, the president and the general manager of the Bulls, is going to stop in to talk about community involvement with the Bulls and what to expect in the 2026 season. And then we finish things off with the Lethbridge Bulls junior reporter. So that's a action-packed show for you today. Make sure you watch the whole thing and tell people to watch the show, subscribe to the YouTube channel while you're at it. And without any further ado, here is Carter Claerhout. Welcome back to Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls baseball report on Rogers TV and on the newly claimed Maple Leaf Baseball Network YouTube channel. Joined today by longtime Lethbridge Bull and a current Bellevue Bruin, Carter Claerhout. Carter's joining us from Nebraska. How you doing, Carter?
I'm doing great, Brent. Always good to chat with you.
No, it's always fun to get called into relief duty. Carter did today. Carter, I thought you were done, and then like at the end of
so did I. Don't worry.
Near the end of the Bull season last year, you told me that you were going down to Bellevue to join that band of merry men that's got a constant flow of guys coming down to the WCBL. How did that all occur, and what like the rules are so to us who don't know, fill me in on how it works and how the rules work.
Okay, so it's kind of hard to explain. I didn't understand it either. So I ran out of NCAA eligibility. That was done. I couldn't go back to Southern Arkansas University with Blanchard there. So Mitch Schmidt of the Dogs, one of the co-managers of the Okotoks Dogs, kind of said, hey, send over your transcripts. I know the CCBC is a little touchy with the NCAA. Let's check if you got an NAIA year. So I sent over my unofficial transcripts, and he found out that I had a year of eligibility in the NAIA because of COVID with PBA. So now here I am, I guess, and already started up. So
yeah, you guys played last weekend. How's it going so far?
We went 2-2 this past weekend, and it was a good weekend for me as well. So.
You good. Talk about guys with the COVID years and the current teammate of yours, a teammate that was here in Lethbridge with the PBA and with the Bulls, with Nick Gravel. Nick's got to be, what is his 14th year of college by now, isn't he?
I don't know. He's up there for sure. I actually live with him. So it's awesome.
I quite like Nick. I wish he could find his way back here to Lethbridge to play for the Bulls, but that's another day. But you're down there, and now you're one of the older guys, obviously, with your 5th year, 6th year, whatever it is now. How different is it compared to your first year here at PBA? How you were the young kid coming in, now you're the old guy with a mustache on your face. And, so it's a little bit different. What's the biggest difference so far for
honestly, I'm not the oldest guy here, which is quite surprising. But yeah, it's a little different, especially being a grad transfer, having 4 years of college baseball under my belt. So I kind of know more of the game. I walk in and I'm a leader just because I'm older, right? So guys look at me right away to be a leader, and it's definitely different for sure. You're still trying to get the feel for the program, but at the same time, you know the game well, and you're trying to be a leader to the younger guys there.
The level of baseball changes from now, like you were down inside when you were a mule rider last year, and then you're a PBA, and then now you're in Bellevue, like just traveling around, band of merry men. What's the level of baseball like? What's been the biggest differences so far in the 3 different levels of college baseball you played so far?
Oh, geez, that's a loaded question. I guess I would compare NAIA really closely to the WCBL, actually, from what I've seen so far, is
Yeah.
each team's got a guy that can bang it, and there's talent all around the lineup, and there's good pitching everywhere. D2 was kind of at SAU was a little level up from the WCBL, I'd say. Still good, still really good ball in the WCBL, obviously, but there's just talent all over. You got D1 bounce backs everywhere and stuff like that. Guys throwing 95, 97 in the D2 level. And then PBA, it's just awesome. It's pretty similar to this as well, I would say, where there's a little bit more of a skill gap in the CCBC than NAIA, where the guys at the top of the CCBC are a lot better in the bottom level, the floor, so to say. But it's been a whirlwind for sure, playing all three levels, kind of sort of thing. But I always know what the WCBL holds for me, and I'll always keep coming back as long as I have eligibility. I don't know if I could find another year.
Somehow find you another year.
It's about time to start life.
I don't know how that's all going to work out. So we're going to get audited here somehow pretty quick here. Good thing this is the world headquarters for the league as well. Talk about your W's. Yeah, we'll find a way. No, we don't cheat. I'm just saying. You're coming back to WCBL to be your fifth year. I was joking a couple of weeks back on the show that it's your 10th year of eligibility, but it's your fifth year coming back here. Now you're going to be the old guard. And what's one of the things you're really looking forward to this time around? Thinking that it might be your last go. You up until about 2 weeks left in the season last year, you thought that was it, and then so you're going to have a little bit more time to enjoy it maybe a little bit this year.
Yeah, for sure. Now that I know for sure, we're gonna try. It's probably the last year. Who knows? But yeah, I kind of embraced the fact that it was like my last ride last season, so to say. So it was more of a leave it all out there approach, and I'm gonna kind of do that again this coming summer. I think we built a really good group of guys up, a big core of guys last year, and a lot of them are coming back, right? So it'll be fun to kind of make some more memories with everybody again. It'll be nice to rekindle with Calum and Cardell too. Played with them before, and they're coming back, so it'll be good to keep making memories with all these guys and keep building the bond we have as a group.
It is going to be nice to have Kalen back here. He's a quiet leader around the locker room, everything else. He's a local kid, and so that helps a lot. And he's got a confidence around it. That'll help the ball team a lot. There's something that was just missing maybe a little bit last year, and then bringing Cardell back as well. Not that we were short there, but it's just to have a couple of guys, and then Noah McNeil is going to be a healthier addition as well. So a little bit stronger behind the plate this year. Is that something you're seeing? Because you know who's coming. We haven't released all the players already, but you know who's coming back, and so is that something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, for sure. Not that our catchers were bad this past season by any means. They were great back there, but yeah, it's nice to have like the calming presence of a Cardell, and you know what you're getting with Noah as well. It'll be good to have some stability behind the plate, guys I know already as well. And yeah, I'm excited to play on the right side with Haney again for sure.
Have you ever played? Because I've known you for about six years as well now. Have you ever played anywhere else but first base?
They sucked me out in outfield at SAU just to try it. And I ran into a brick wall and dropped the ball in one of our scrimmages, and that kind of closed the door with the outfield thing.
That audition pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah, that audition ended very fast. So yeah, they put me down as DH. I do have an outfield glove. So during BP,
do you know where it is?
Yeah, it's in my bag just in case. Oh, always.
It's in your bag, in your closet at your apartment. It's not anywhere near your locker.
Yeah. It's ready to go just in case, but and during the summer I'll grab it and go out there and run around and catch some fly balls and stuff, just have some fun. But yeah, first base I've been playing first base since I was 5 years old, so 18 years, so to say. Yeah. Feels like I'm really old saying that, but yeah, first base has kind of been my home. I actually caught up until high school when I was a kid too, as a lefty.
That never works out well for some reason.
No, Never works out.
I remember Carlin Dick trying to your assistant coach Carlin Dick trying a few times too. And
funny story with Carlin actually. So I had a custom lefty first baseman or catcher's mitt, and he lost it on a bus trip in Saskatchewan one year. I gave it to him to use just for farting around, and he lost it on me.
He pawned it off for KFC money in Weyburn.
Probably for sure. That's exactly what he did. So if he's listening, he still owes me a catcher's mitt. I know I'm not getting it back, but he still owes me a catcher's mitt.
He pawned it off. I guarantee it.
Guaranteed.
You're talking about Mitch Schmidt earlier on. He was up with the Okotoks Dogs. And there's always been quite the pipeline of guys from Bellevue that end up on every team around WCBL. What's up with that? What's the big read now that you're down there a little bit and talking to these guys a little bit more? What's their big secret in there? Why is there such a big flow of Bellevue Bruins that show up around WCBL all the time?
He just puts in a really good word for the league and everything like that, and he's already recruited 3 or 4 guys to Okotoks from our team already and stuff like that. So, he's awesome. I love him. I've only been with him for a short time, but he's such a good guy, and he talks highly of this league, and as he should. It's awesome up here in Lethbridge and around the area as well. So he talks highly of it, and he just tries to find just a little thing that he could fix in Okotoks and puts you on the team, I guess, so to say, for them. But we do hate them. So
yeah, it'd be nice to get past that, get that monkey off the back this year and see what can do. What's one thing you're looking forward to this year? Like you got an older team, a more experienced team. What's something you're looking forward to maybe this year that the Bulls were kind of maybe missing last year?
I think we're just gonna hit even more and play better defense now that we're older and grown more and stuff like that. I think we're just gonna keep building off of what we did last year. I know it was very unfortunate how we went out in front of my entire family in Sylvan Lake. But no, I think we're just going to build off of what we did last year and keep building and having more success in areas we didn't have success in last year. And yeah, I think we're just going to be a better, more mature team, so to say.
You talk about when you were younger, when you were 5 years old, you started playing baseball and stuff. Is that something that you like? And you see the kids at Spitz Stadium and they're looking for autographs and they're always looking for free stuff. Hey, can I have a glove? No, you can't have my glove. They cost money. It's an odd question that I hear all the time.
Can I have your one and only bat that you use?
Yeah, can I have that, please? No, they cost money. No, you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
What's something is that something you look forward to? Is seeing these kids, because these kids think you guys are big leaguers for the summer. Is that something that's just a lot of fun every year? No matter like you're playing here or you're playing on the road, it's got to be a pretty good feeling.
Yeah, it's a cool feeling. I was one of those kids, right? When I was younger and we had baseball games in Okotoks and there was Dogs game, we would go watch them and cheer them on, right? So whenever a kid wants to get an autograph from me, I always kind of picture myself asking for that autograph. So I always say yes and try and make that kid have a good memory and stuff like that. It's really fun to interact with the fans and everything like that. So it's good.
Whose autograph do you remember getting when you were younger? It doesn't have to be baseball related. Who's the first autograph that you asked for? Do you remember?
The first autograph I asked for was actually from the Red Deer Rebels, because we used to billet some Red Deer Rebels. So there's a picture of me with Martin Hansel and Brandon Sutter in our basement as I'm 4 years old drinking a beer.
Nice.
So yeah, I'll try and find that picture for you, Brent, and show you.
We'll have to get that one up on the big screen here at Spitz Stadium.
Yeah, for sure. Ryan Nugent Hopkins was one of them as well. But yeah, I have a bunch of those Rebels guys that went on to play in the NHL.
Yeah, you're coming back and you're into the horizon a little bit. Let's play a game that the people ask this question all the time. What would 23, 24 years old now? What would 24-year-old Carter Claerhout say to his 17-year-old self when you're graduating high school, knowing that you're coming to PBA? What would you, looking back and you got to pull yourself aside, what would you tell yourself all those years ago?
Just keep working hard. Keep putting your head down and keep working hard, because hard work always beats talent, no matter what industry, what sport you're playing. Kind of just keep working hard, keep putting that extra work in, go to the cage at 11 p.m. when you don't want to, kind of thing, and wake up at 6 a.m. when you don't want to, and just keep working hard.
What are you taking in school anyways, like this many years?
I'm taking my MBA.
Be a doctor or something? Like this taking a long time, whatever it is you're taking.
You'd think so, right? You'd think so. No, I'm taking my MBA in finance to kind of look into the banking industry kind of thing.
Oh, right on. That's a good thing. A couple easy questions for you, then we'll get you out of here and go enjoy your day. And you and Nick Gravel go do as whatever you and Nick Gravel do. But what's your walk-up song going to be this year?
Probably the same old Mr. Carter by Lil Wayne.
There we go. What's the best sandwich?
Ooh. Chicken bacon ranch is pretty good. I like that.
From
sandwich. Where? Subway's probably.
Subway.
I would go. Jersey Mike's is pretty good. I've gotten into Jersey Mike's now that I'm in the States.
Yeah, they got a Jersey Mike's here in Lethbridge now. Carlin was smashing one down his head the other day. Actually, it looked.
They got a Jersey Mike's in Lethbridge now. We're big
time
down
by down by what's that place? Blowers in Grafton, down by Walmart down there.
Okay, yeah, I might make a few trips to Jersey Mike's in Lethbridge.
Jersey Mike's is good. Sure. Working on a sponsorship with them and somebody else that we'll talk about later on.
Okay,
go there.
We should get a Bulls discount for.
That's kind of what I'm working on. Is got to make sure the discount is very works well for both of us. Works well for
very nice.
Last thing, we'll get you out of here. Prediction for the Bulls 2026 season.
WCBL champions.
Might as well shoot high. Good, Carter. Thanks a lot for joining us, man. It's always a pleasure, and we'll look forward to seeing you here in the spring. Good luck with the Bellevue Bruins, and say hi to Mitch for me.
Absolutely, he says hi as well.
All right. Thanks a lot, man. We'll talk later.
Thanks, Brent.
This summer, there's only one place to be, and that's Spitz Stadium.
You can sit here, or here. You can sit here, or here, or even here,
but not here. Get your tickets now at bullsbaseball.com and come experience Bulls baseball all summer long. It's going to be unbelievable.
Welcome back to Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report on Rogers TV and up on the Maple Leaf Baseball Network's YouTube channel. We are joined by the birthday boy, day late but never a dollar short, Gord Watt, longtime athletic therapist. How you doing today, Gord?
Good, Brad. Happy to be around. Happy to be at the ballpark on a great Friday morning.
Yeah, it's always fun to have Gord down here. And you're still in hockey mode for a couple more weeks anyways with Lethbridge. What are you 18?
Yeah, I work with the U18 guys, but we're not making the playoffs this year. So, but I'll jump in with the U15 AAA, the Golden Hawks for the rest of their season in the playoffs. So, gives me a little bit more hockey before the season comes up. So
you're involved in a lot of sports, not just hockey. Then you jump into lacrosse season. Our front desk person, Nate Thomas Wall, he's involved in senior lacrosse here in town. Tell us a little bit about the lacrosse teams that you're involved with.
Yeah, I work with the Southern Alberta Chaos for the last 4 years, I think. A buddy of mine, Jared Kapner, started it in Tabor a few years ago, and he phoned me up looking for an athletic therapist student one day, and I said, "Well, send me your schedule, and we'll see what we can do." So it works in good with the Bulls. I get to hang out with a bunch of different kids, and lacrosse is a different sport. It's wild.
Did you know much about lacrosse? Like, I didn't know anything much about it just from watching a little bit on TV. But then my nephew, he played for a while minor lacrosse. I don't want to go as far as saying it's violent, but it's a tad bit violent.
It is violent. I worked for the Lethbridge Barracudas from around 2002 to 2008. And I remember going to the first practice, and balls were flying around, and guys are just chopping at guys and elbow like cross check and I'm like, what am I doing here? What is going on? But it's a great sport, and it takes a tough person to play lacrosse. Like, it's surprising the amount of little skinny guys that play that are just covered in bruises, and that's just the way it is.
It is funny to watch. I'll way off lacrosse here in a second, but it is funny to watch how cross-checking is legal in certain parts of the playing surface.
Yeah.
It's allowed here and this is allowed there. It's a whole different beast. Gord, you've been around Spitz Stadium for a long time. Back even when it was Henderson Stadium, we talked about it back when you got into the Bulls Hall of Fame back in 2024. We did that near the end of the season there. Lots have changed, but lots stays the same. We talked about the things that have changed. What's kind of stayed the same over your years around the great game of baseball?
The clubhouse is pretty similar. When I worked for the Black Diamonds and the Mounties back in the day, a little bit of the floor plan has changed, but it's still a homey kind of old school baseball clubhouse. We're really close to the fans, which is good for the players and the fans, I think. So, I've got to know all the people that sit right behind the dugout over the years, the season ticket holders, and I chat with them and look forward to seeing them in the spring. And it's a great park. It's right by the lake. It's a cozy atmosphere for everybody, and they've made the grandstand better over the years, and the concessions have changed, but it's still Hendo. It's still Henderson Stadium to me. I have trouble calling it Spitz. So
I always said they should have called it Spitz Stadium and Henderson Park was kind of my thought with. So then leave the Henderson thing in there.
Yeah.
Apparently the guy with all the money said no.
Oh, okay. Well, we got to listen to the guy with all the money, don't we? Because we don't have any. We don't have
the way that works. Like you talk about the people behind that sit behind the dugout year in, year out. This is going on my third year, but I've been coming around here a long time too. When I umpired, and you see people. That's kind of what keeps everything kind of rolling a little bit, because the people that come year after year, game after game, you can count on them. The casual fans, which we love as well, we hope to get them back more often than just one game. Come to 2, come to 3, come to 10. But those people that come year after year, they're the fun ones to talk to for sure.
Oh, they are. And often they're the billets. Yeah. You'll know who billets with who and who they had last year, and things change, but they might have the same kid, or they might have a different kid, or 2 kids, and I've gotten to know a lot of those people over the years. So it's I go to the bank and I see Sabrina and I see Kyla and Tiana and all those people on Facebook, and it's like, oh, hey, not that many days till baseball starts again, so we'll see you at the park. It's a lot of fun now.
Baseball players or fans are a different breed. I know it's like everybody's talking about pitchers and catchers reporting in Major League Baseball today, and it's just a thing. It's just such a major thing with baseball fans, whereas hockey fans kind of ease into a little bit more, because it's kind of the start of the impending doom when hockey season comes around, because you know that winter's coming.
Yeah,
but
winter's coming.
A spring hope eternal, or whatever the saying is. But go back to your first years early with the Black Diamonds. It's kind of a dirty word around here, the way they disappeared in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But it's still part of baseball history here in Lethbridge. And Buck Showalter showed up, and Chris Spire was the manager at the start of that. What can you tell us about Buck and what he brought to the and how demanding he was as a baseball guy?
Buck was like, I had just heard of him on TV, and I went to the summer after I worked for the Mounties. The Diamondbacks were coming in here, and I went down to spring meetings, and then I went down to spring training camp in Peoria, Arizona, I think it was, and that's where I met all these people that I just heard of. Buck Showalter was there, and he was just a normal guy. He was old school baseball, no beards, no chains, hats never on backwards. You had to have either stirrups or high knees, pretty much stirrups with him. No high top shoes, and the clubhouse had to be pristine. So we kept the clubhouse and our room organized, nice, clean. But I enjoyed Buck Showalter. He was pretty off the cuff with me, and we talked about Latin kids, and one day I was in high desert California with Dave Edwards, and Buck was in the dugout smoking his big cigar, and he's like, "Gordy, how's your Spanish?" And I said, "Well, I took a night class, and I can learn a little bit." And he goes, "You're gonna have a lot of Spanish there next summer." so I I can talk pretty well in Spanish baseball terms. I know the body parts. And I can swear at them when need to be, and I get along good with those guys. And we've had a few Spanish kids in the last few years that were really good guys, and I enjoyed having around. But yeah, I met Chris Spire. He came up for the opening press conference when the Black Diamonds were starting, and I quickly learned that baseball was a business, and I think that's the first time I heard that the owners were looking to move out of Lethbridge.
Before we even started. Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't know this. Yeah.
Yeah, not many people did. I was sworn to silence.
Well, it's 20-some years later.
Yeah, Tommy Jones.
No one's listening anyway, so go ahead and just.
Tommy Jones said, "Hey, this doesn't leave the room, but the owners are looking to leave." And I had 1 year of baseball experience. I didn't really know what was shaking, so I didn't talk to anybody. I think I told my wife maybe, but that's for them to deal with. But the Black Diamonds was a great experience for me because I got to meet some great people. Coaches, Tommy Jones, Jim Presley taught me to fly fish. He's the guy that got me.
Which you're still doing today.
Which I'm still doing today. Yeah. And I've lost contact with Jimmy a little bit. He's been around the world and he's not on social media. But just the coaches and the players, like in hockey, you've either got country kids, city kids, rich kids, not rich kids.
Yeah.
Baseball, you got kids from Tennessee and Dominican Republic and California and Michigan and all over the U.S.
Yeah.
And they're all a little bit different, and it's all kind of fun because, some kids talking in Tennessee dialect, and I had to translate for them when I took them to the hospital one time. And I still keep in touch with some of those kids on social media, and I'll message them and say hi. And we had in the Black Diamonds tenure, we had a number of guys that went to the major leagues. Rod Barajas probably had.
I remember him. Yeah.
Yeah, probably had the biggest, longest career in Major League Baseball because he followed Buck Showalter around. Buck Showalter loved you if you worked hard and played hard and did your job.
It's weird how that kind of works, hey? Like it's funny how that works. If you do your job, keep your mouth shut and work hard.
Yeah,
it's kind of like with life in general.
I think
that works.
I think that's why I've been around so long. I just kind of do my job, and sometimes my mouth gets me in a little bit of trouble. The filter doesn't work great and stuff, but Rod Barajas hit the biggest home run I've seen at Spitz Stadium in Henderson. He hit one over the lights in left field. And it might have bounced on 6th Ave. It was that big. So
that's a pretty good shot. That's a long ways. Like I remember him playing here, and just crazy how good those. And you can tell, like people don't realize that minor league baseball they have guys who they have projected to go a certain distance and go to a certain level, and then they start whittling down teams. They have most of these teams are put together for 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah,
that might end up going on to the major leagues, or might even just go to AAA and just in the hopes of getting something.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of false hopes projected on a lot of these players.
It is, but I think most of them really love the game. It was the way they talk about players in the meetings. It's a business, but I remember we had a kid named Jamie Sykes, and he played basketball at. Temple University,
yeah.
I think. He made the Final 8 in March Madness, and they kept him around because he was a really good athlete. And I think he made AAA a little bit, not positive, but they had their prospects and their big money guys, the Nunez, the Jack Cutt.
Oh, I remember Nunez. He was a big pitcher.
Oh, big. He was like 6'5" and 250, just a big Cuban kid.
That was in '96.
That was the first year. That was the 96. First year when we were allowed to have older guys than most of our league because we were rookie A,
and the only team in the system, so they had to get guys in ahead of time.
Yeah,
because they were going to start their major league team in a couple of years. Yeah.
I think there was a team in Arizona in the Arizona Spring League. But that was for mostly high school guys. So we had guys who were 23, 24 and were done their college careers and stuff. So it was a little different dealing with older guys compared to my hockey world. But but you quickly figured out who the prospects were. I remember one of my players had an elbow problem, and we worked on him in Lethbridge, and we were in Helena one night, and then Larry Rodriguez all of a sudden had a shoulder problem.
Yeah,
he was a big money prospect. He signed for $1.2 million back in those days, and he got flown from Helena to Arizona, got into a cab, went to the MRI, got his MRI, went to the surgeon's place, and they decided what they were going to do with him right there and then. And one of the ball players goes, yeah, Gord fixes the Fords, and they send the Ferraris out to get fixed. I think that was Jason Chavez that told me that. So it was kind of funny. But
no, I remember Nunez because actually in '96, when he was pitching, it was a Sunday afternoon, and I was umpiring a Little League game. Me and Donnie Huber. Remember Donnie Huber?
Oh, God. Donnie Huber refereed every sport in the world.
Yeah.
And you knew he was refereeing because you paid your $10 to watch
Donnie do things. So we were down at Dave Elton Park, and the two umpires that they were coming up from Great Falls, Toby and Todd, and I can't remember, it was Toby Hoy, and I can't remember Todd's.
I remember Toby Hoy.
Remember him?
Yeah, he went to the major leagues eventually.
Yeah, he got up there for a little bit, and Toby, they got caught at the border, and somehow, some way, this was before cell phones, obviously, and they got a hold of me, and they called Dave Elton Park, so me and Huber subbed in for a few innings, and we changed in between innings without anybody knowing that there was different guys.
I think you told me about that.
So that's how baseball, that's how umpires are supposed to be known.
Yes.
If you can just interchange them, not that umpires are interchangeable. I'm not saying that at all.
No, they're not.
But if you're, it's just. I remember that day, and then Toby and Todd took us for a couple of adult beverages for filling in for a few innings. That's how I got my umpiring bug that day.
Okay.
And Nunez was on the hill that Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, he threw gas. He threw 94, 95 back in those days, and that was pretty legit. And he set the strikeout record in the Pioneer League.
Yeah.
But his fastball was straight as an arrow, so he went to the California League the next year. Dominated for a month, and everybody figured out that it wasn't moving. So
here it is.
And in high desert, the air was a little thin, so he broke the home runs allowed record, I think. So, but he got to the major leagues, and he did okay.
We talk about the past a lot. It always waxes poetic, obviously. That's always better. And it is in a lot of ways, and it's not in some ways, obviously. But now that you're working with, not just the Bulls, but with young hockey players and stuff, if you had a magic wand and Gord Watt was given the power to change one thing in the sports world, because you've been around it for a long time, and you've been around the parents and the coaches and the people and the players and stuff. What if you had the wand, you tapped it once? What would change instantly in Gord Watt's world that would benefit the sports world as a whole? Look at the positivity in this early in the morning around Spitz Stadium, Gord.
That's the most profound question. Nobody's ever asked me that. Oh wow!
Hard hitting news. The Bullhorn.
Wow, I think
8:30 in the morning, whatever it is. Yeah.
You should have told me last night. I would have thought about it for about 4 hours. And
I wanted to get your sleep.
If I could wave my magic wand, I would let all the athletes know that this is just a part of your life, and it's a small part. You grow up, you start playing sports at the age of 4. You grow up, you get a little better, you get a little better, you a little better, and eventually the dream dies or you get cut. The only guys that don't get cut are like Wayne Gretzky and Sid Crosby and the generational guys. They've never been cut. I remember Rodney McRae, the guy that ran through the outfield wall in the Hall of Highlight. He was my coach in '95 with the Mounties. My wife was chatting with him, and my wife goes, "Well, why'd you retire?" And he goes, "It wasn't my choice."
Yeah.
But I think I would let everybody know that maybe just enjoy your time in sports a little more, and don't worry about the end goal. Just worry about the process. Even with my son played volleyball in high school, and had a great career in university at Brandon University, and all of a sudden it's over. You play your 4 years and it's over, and that's a grieving process, and it's a life process, and And you look back on it, it was awesome. But I miss watching volleyball. On Friday, I'd come home after a game and I'd watch volleyball. It was streamed, and he's doing wonderful now. He's in more school and he's training for triathlons now. So that's. But I think I would let these kids know that to enjoy the present.
And I don't think just even we talk about this all the time. I don't think it's just telling the kids that. It's telling the parents that.
You got to tell the parents.
Tell the parents that at the same time.
The big word of vicariously.
I don't think you can do it in a room full of them. I think you got to sit them down one by one and say you're gonna run you're gonna be sad about not going to practice at 7 a.m. You're gonna be sitting, maybe not that much, but you're gonna be sad about doing certain things that you're never gonna, because it's you get from about the age of 5 to 17.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So 12 years, and there's still another how many years of your life that you're alive that you're not.
It's not a big percentage of your life that you're not involved. And then you have kids, and then you're involved in your kids' sport. I go to the rink and I see all these guys that played for the Bulls years ago that have kids in Timbits now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool. I get to meet all their kids and see them at the rink and relive some old stories and that. So, but yeah, it's a small percentage of your life, and it ends quick. And I know some parents that their social life was based on sports.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there's no sports. Well, you got to reinvent your life, I guess. So,
well, you talk about how there's only X amount of guys that make the professional baseball at the level that the Black Diamonds were and whatever it is now, and how many of those guys don't go past that when they're 19.
Yeah,
and they're done. They're considered professional players because they're making $300 a month, whatever it was.
Yeah, I think they made $800, $850 in our league. So everybody got the same, whether you were $1 million signing guy or you signed for a cheeseburger and a beer that Buck Showalter used to say, and everybody got $850 a month. So it they weren't rolling in money here, except the 3 or 4 guys who
signed a little bit, had a little bit of
yeah.
And you just it's crazy how that all turns out. You just go like, this guy went to a really far level, and then they're just done as well. It's just and how people just don't get that. Get to the Bulls here. You're in the 2026 season. You're coming back for another trip around the sun as of yesterday. And what keeps bringing you back?
I think the athletes, they keep me young. They, I can talk teenage, I can talk college age, and they always want to know what so and so was like, or what the past was like here, and it's a pretty good atmosphere on a game day. I get here about 3:30 or so, and I get the water going and the ice going in the dugouts, and you watch BP and you hang out in the clubhouse, and then you have something to eat, and then it gets pretty exciting about 5:30 because the fans start coming in.
Yeah.
And there's always kids running around.
AM or PM?
Usually PM. PM.
I wish it was that way.
The fans start rolling in, and game day starting, and you can smell the popcorn and the hot dogs, and the people start getting there. And people are predictable. I see Brandon. Brandon comes and watches the BP at he's there at 3:00.
Yeah.
And he gets his hamburgers and hot dogs or whatever. And that's when the game gets exciting. And then I drag all my stuff out to the dugout, and usually then you see who's umpiring, and then you kind of shake your head, or you go, oh, he's not too bad, or he was bad last night. But those guys are all pretty decent characters too. We try to take care of them as well.
Yeah.
And it's funny, Ron Shuchuk, he referees volleyball in Manitoba.
Mm-hmm.
So I would see him at volleyball games, and my son would see him, and then we'd see him in the summertime here and have a chat with him. But I think the game in general keeps me coming back. It's getting a little harder on the body. The Canada Day doubleheader. I get here at
that's a long one.
9 a.m. I got 23,000 steps on me. It's usually 31 degrees out, and my body doesn't recover as good as it used to, and the feet and legs are sore and the back's sore. But it's always the most memorable day in the year is Canada Day, I think, because the place is packed.
Place is full. Everybody's having a good time, and the game is secondary. The fireworks happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of people there
going on. Yeah.
There's a lot of people there that maybe that's the only Bulls game they come to in a year.
Yeah,
and I wish we could get a few more people in the park because it's a pretty good night.
Well, I joke about that in my 2 years here, and even before I started working with the Bulls, I had a few Canada Day games where I was umpiring, and you're like, other than the fireworks, it's the exact same game.
It's the same.
It's the same game.
It's the 9 innings,
Like maybe there's the odd promotion, a little bit different here and there, but everybody's having a good time for the 3 hours or whatever it is, and then the fireworks happen. You're like, well, if we just got fireworks every night, would it be packed all the time?
Me?
I don't know if the budget's for that.
I don't know. That's your department. I don't have that.
You sponsorship, please. But yeah, no, it's when the place is packed, it's a lot of fun. Like you said, when people start rolling in and they got their Bulls hats on, and they're having a good time, and music's on, and people are smiling and laughing, because that's one thing I really noticed, that most people, and this is life in general, most people are here to have a good time.
Yeah,
and they really do. The odd person that's mad about this, mad about that. That's every business, no matter what it is.
Yeah,
but people in general have a pretty good time.
It's I run into a lot of people. Their business will buy a section of the patio, and they're there having some supper and some sodas, and that scares me, because everybody in the patio, sometimes they're not watching the game.
No.
And years ago they didn't have a fence up.
No, they sure didn't.
And I was terrified. Every time a foul line drive would go down there, I was terrified that somebody would get beamed. And even, people will get hit with pop flies in the grandstand or in the patio, and foul balls. And I'm just shake, because sometimes they're not watching the game.
There was that young fellow last summer. He birthday party, eating a piece of pizza, and he was looking the wrong way, and he got one right in the back. Remember that one? Holy.
Yeah, so
that ball went over top of the netting. So it was like, oh jeez.
Yeah,
Big karma. Maybe the kid was bad.
Karma's a thing. Karma's a thing.
Probably shouldn't have said that to whatever parents might be.
Karma's a thing. No, I go out. I don't like going up in the stands for injuries or whatever, but it usually ends up that I do that, and I'm lucky. I've got a couple athletic therapists on the other dugout often too. Okotoks usually has Savannah there that I'll ask her to help out if something goes awry. So, but yeah, Canada Day is the best day in the ballpark. People will ask me, they'll phone me in the morning, hey, can you give me tickets for tonight? And I'm just like, no,
not the way this works.
No, sorry.
Actually, it was quite funny. Bulls Hall of Famer as well as like yourself, Nick Tilsley, he called me at about 4:00 on Canada Day. Says I need tickets. So I just like Nick, because he's Fort McLeod, I know him quite well. So, Nick, that's not how this works. He goes, well, we got a problem. I got tickets, and my wife put me in charge of getting tickets, but I got tickets for the afternoon game, not knowing that, because he goes, there's lots left, and there wasn't.
Yeah,
we found a way to get Nick in, but it was. We do love our alumni guys here.
Yeah. We do love our alumni. They usually sit out in the left field thing, and they some of them have been known to harass the left fielder and the third baseman pretty good. But it's all in good fun, and
that's what it's all about, really.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, Gord, thank you very much for making your time out of your busy schedule, coming down to Spitz Stadium on this beautiful morning and talking some baseball.
It's a pleasure.
And reminiscing about old times.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Brent.
Yeah, we'll have to have you on again before the season gets going.
You bet.
You're watching the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report on Rogers TV and on the Maple Leaf Baseball Network's YouTube channel.
Is your family outgrowing your current space? It might be time to move up, and the Shauna Gruninger Group is here to help you find the perfect fit. With years of experience and a deep knowledge of the Lethbridge market, Shauna makes upgrading easy, stress-free, and exciting. Don't wait. Your dream home and more room to grow is just a call away. Let the Shauna Gruninger Group help you relax with RE/MAX Real Estate.
The Shauna Gruninger Group with RE/MAX Real Estate Lethbridge is proud to support the Lethbridge Bulls and baseball in southern Alberta. Whether you're buying, selling, or just curious about the market, we'd love to connect and offer a complimentary market evaluation. No pressure, just helpful info. And because we love giving back, we always have Bulls tickets throughout the season. Scan the QR code to get in touch. We'd love to see you at the game.
Baseball Report. There and there. Welcome back to Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report on Rogers TV and on the Maple Leaf Baseball Network YouTube channel. We're back with Kevin's Corner, Kevin Kvame, President and General Manager of Lethbridge Bulls. Kevin, you just got back from your big trip to Indianapolis, the Little League Conference. How'd that go?
That was awesome. I wish I could took everybody from our office, everyone from the Little League organization here in Southern Alberta to that conference. It was invigorating and it was exciting, and there's lots of developments on the horizon that's going to make Little League, continue to have its spot as the most respected, world-renowned youth sports organization in the world since it started in 1939 as a lowly 4 teams in Williamsport.
Yeah, that's all started out. It's crazy to think how much it's grown. You go to those conferences and you only really get out of it what you put into it. And if you go in with a ho-hum attitude, not really thinking you get anything out of it, it doesn't do you much good. But it sounds like you came up out of it with a reinvigorated attitude towards the whole thing. Not that you weren't passionate about Little League before, but just like some ideas probably crossed your head and are going through your mind. We're going to plug the USB into your ears and how it's all going to come about.
Yeah, I think that, there's been, rumblings in different parts of the country that we should, in some ways abandon the league and stuff. And you go to that and you hear the speakers and the passion and the promise that they're going to have to develop new initiatives, new measures to put the children first. And that's really what it's all about, that's their mantra. And, it's about more than just the on-field game. It's about the community and the coming together at a positive youth sports event. And just lots of exciting things on the horizon. And, this community is the Lethbridge Bulls is going to be very involved in the next year and a half leading up to the national championship that's in our backyard next August. It's wow. We're going to have the top teams in the country come into Lethbridge, and one of those teams is going to be Team Canada going to Williamsport, and the ultimate dream of it all.
No, it is interesting. I had Gord Watt on earlier on. He pretty much was mimicking what you're saying about kids and everything, how important they are, and that parents have to kind of get a little bit of a pull back on things a little bit, because your kid only has X amount of years to play, and you should probably try to enjoy it, especially at that 11 and 12-year-old level. Not that you shouldn't wait until they're, even when they're 40 years old, you still go to the rink or the ballpark to watch them play softball. But it's very important, kids, right from T-ball right on through a positive experience, because you only get about 13 or 14 years to play. And if you're, and I've said this 1,000 times, you eventually just run out of games to play. So you might as well enjoy the ones that your child has to play, and enjoy the whole process that goes through it.
Yeah, you have to remember that there's a lot of different levels of baseball players, and we want to keep them all fans of the game, for years and years to come. And if we drive them away from the game because we didn't find a team for them to play on, or we had a coach that was yelling and screaming at them instead of building positive skill development and encouragement, we drive them away from the game. The most stunning statistic that I found when I was at the Congress was that the age that we lose the most players that leave the sport. You want to take a guess?
I would think probably either 7 or 8 years old or 5 or 6 years old.
That would be 6 years old.
Yeah.
We don't do a great job of that 4 to 6 year old program. A lot of leagues in the country think of it as an afterthought. They charge a heck of a lot for that program and don't give enough value back to it. And I think that you have to provide those kids with quality coaching as well. Totally different. And maybe they aren't even coaches. Maybe they're more like scout leaders or team captains or that type of thing that goes out and makes sure they're all having fun and learning how to run, learning how to catch the ball, learning how to throw the ball, and in fun and exciting drills and competition that's on a T-ball diamond. And, if we drive them away when they're 6, we probably don't get them back. And how many athletes are we losing? Potential stars are we losing because we let them away at the age of 6?
Yeah, I remember growing up in the baseball metropolis that wasn't Fort McLeod, and you started out at a young age, you played T-ball, then you went into coach pitch, and then minor, major, and then on and on it went. And it was just what you did. And it wasn't a question of if you were playing baseball back then, it was when. And then you just kept going, and there was always lots of kids to play the next year and the next year and the next year. I mean, Fort McLeod was a bit of an epiphany, but it's kind of showed you a little bit that the system does work, and maybe it's time to rewind a little, not all the way, because there were some things that were done improperly, obviously, as everybody was learning and growing and learning how all these things go, and you were a big part of that. But maybe it's time to maybe hit the rewind button a little bit and go, okay, what actually worked, and how can we maybe reset things a little bit, still move into the future, but make sure that we're not forgetting about the past and how well it did work in some aspects.
Well, I think part of it is recruiting. Like, I think you got to recruit the kids to play, like encourage them to come out and play, not just wait for them to come to you. And I think that's, looking back at the Fort McLeod days when baseball was a way of life there. And, no knock to Lethbridge, but a couple of teams did beat Lethbridge from small town Fort McLeod back then.
I was on one of those teams, but yeah.
I wasn't going to, I guess.
I think they all know that I was. I tell them enough, but anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Great. But anyways, we had 280 kids playing Little League baseball, and maybe it was from a population, not just the town, but a majority from the town of 3,000. So if you equate that into terms today, that's like 1 out of every 10 or 11 or 12 people in Fort McLeod were playing Little League baseball. You had the parents that were part of it. So now you're up to about 1 in 4, 1 in 3 people were involved in the program in some capacity. And that is unheard of today. I mean, if Lethbridge had that going today, that would mean we would have 10,000 Little Leaguers in the program.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have enough diamonds. City, we need help to build more diamonds. And that would be a great thing too, because I know that sports is a uniting factor. It is, in this turmoil of the world, sport can be a really positive influence and a safe space for the kids to play, and Little League is the best at it all.
Yeah, you factor in what we got going on here at Spitz Stadium with the Bulls, and it's the graduation that a kid can look forward to and can strive to a little bit, from Little League to the junior academy, to the Longhorns, and then to PBA, and then eventually up to the Bulls. The eventual progress that a kid has in this community, it doesn't make it easier. You still got to have some talent eventually, and you got to work hard and all the stuff. But there's definitely steps that can be right in front of a kid's eyes and a parent's eyes a little bit, saying, okay, there's a light at the end of the tunnel a little bit. Maybe not to play for the Bulls, but to just go to maybe to play on the American Legion team, and just different levels, because we have so much baseball going on here in Lethbridge.
Well, we might as well have them dream to play on the Blue Jays or the Yankees. I mean, they might as well dream that, and they might as well dream to go to Williamsport, and they might as well dream to play on the Bulls when they're out at Spitz Stadium watching those players play. I think maybe have the junior reporter, I guess Will Turner's on later, have the junior reporter ask him about his Little League days in Calgary. I'm sure he has fond memories of it, and probably not. I know he had a couple of experiences too with coaches that, kind of favor their own kids and stuff too. But that's a different story. But it can be such a positive if it's done right and has the right messaging and the right leadership. Positivity can really take us a long ways.
I was just going to ask you, what measure impact does it have to the community? And I think you were saying it best. I mean, not that there wasn't some shenanigans when we were younger, Kevin, some down in the mean streets of Fort McLeod, obviously. But if you're giving the kids a chance to I don't want to say screw up. If you give a kid a chance for his mind to wander a little bit, they'll find a way. And baseball and Little League baseball kind of gives kids that opportunity to stay busy and no idle hands causing problems. So it's such a positive impact on the community throughout. And the Bulls do a good job with that too, by having Little League nights, Little League team of the nights, and something the kids look forward to.
Yeah, I really hope we can get the T-ball Saturday thing going again in the community this year. Hopefully have sponsors come out and help with it. It's great connections in the community. We do the Little League team of the night. We do the junior umpire thing at times during the year. All that, gets people excited about coming to the ballpark. Like, the ballpark is a safe space, and you come out and there's no right or, there's no, we try to keep politics out of it. We try to keep, any kind of negative comments in the news out of it. It's just go and enjoy yourself and celebrate a great sport.
That's the biggest thing, is there's so much noise out there, no matter what, if you're left, right, blue, red, whatever, it doesn't matter. There's so much noise out there. You can come to the ballpark and turn it off for 3 hours and just be done with it, have a good time. And then if a parent goes to their game before or a practice before, and then they come to the ballpark afterwards, that's 5 hours. They don't got to watch the news or anything else, or stay off Twitter or whatever it might be. So it's just a really real positive thing being around the park, and hopefully the Bulls can really help continue to push Little League baseball throughout the community.
I think all of our players, whether they're from Panama or the United States, and we've had them from Australia, and they have that commonality when they're growing up, that the majority of them played Little League in one of those countries, and Little League is celebrated in so many countries around the world, and that's why they're Little League International. And here in Lethbridge, we're celebrating our 75th anniversary next year with the program here in the city. And what better way to celebrate it than the national championship being here?
No, it should be a lot of fun. It was a great tournament in Victoria last summer when I got to go, and I hope that we put on half the show that they did. I hope we'll surpass it, I'm sure, but it was such a great positive experience.
Well, it's great to have a bar that's been set. I mean, Victoria, all the national tournaments should be commended for over the past number of years. I've been so fortunate to go to quite a few of them. And, we'll take the best that we can out of a lot of them and put on a really good show for the teams and the fans and the parents and the volunteers, and all that will come into Lethbridge next year. And, obviously the Bulls will be part of that, and celebrating the Western Canadian Baseball League during it at Spitz Stadium.
That should be a lot of fun. Kevin, I got some rapid fire questions, 3 of them for you, then we'll get you out of here and get back to work.
All right.
Here we go. Bulls home opener, the Westco home opener is 106 days away. Favorite home opener memory?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think probably I know what the worst one was, I think, but let's go with the best one.
Try to stay positive here.
Yeah.
I think I know. I was in the field for the worst one. I think it was. Yeah, I was umpire that night and couldn't find my mother in the stands. But
no, it was that was injury on the field, and we didn't need, unfortunately. But I'd have to say the 25th anniversary one.
Yeah.
I'd say the celebrating the game, celebrating Mitch Ball, what he meant to the sport, and losing him at such a young age was unfortunate. But his I mean, and I remember the sponsor was A&W that night, a great community partner, and they were a sponsor, and I know that Mitch's favorite drink was A&W root beer, and he was cuddly like supposedly the great root beer too. So just a great evening to celebrate a great person, a great community event. We were up against hockey. The Oilers were in the playoffs, and we were celebrating our 25th anniversary. Like that was my favorite one.
That was a lot of fun.
What said short rapid fire?
Oh, yeah. What's something fans might not realize about what goes into running a WCBL organization?
Oh, I think there's a lot of things that go into that. So that's again not a short question, but one thing, you know, you know, I think you have to focus in on four major things, and I think the length of runway that you have to organize the season is the biggest thing that's changed over the years. Back when I first got involved in the Bulls in 2002 and 3, and we were marketing the team, we'd start the marketing and hiring of a summer person to help with the team in late March or early April. And, you know, you'd kind of do your best, and, you know, you ran the season and you had 200 or 300 people out, and that was that. Yeah. And nowadays it's a year-round operation, and, you know, doing everything from podcasts to social media has become a huge influence on the world, and you know, just recruiting earlier, and just the runway. And you know, if fans could do one thing, get your tickets early so that you're ready to come to the park, and we can be ready for you. If everything is last minute, it makes it feel like last minute to the staff and the organizers too, and we're sometimes caught with our pants down.
I said that to a new sponsor today. I said, hey, can you get me all your stuff now? Because if you're expecting your sign to go up on May 28th and you're sending me the stuff on the 27th, it probably won't. Yeah. Like, so probably get ahead of it a little bit. He's like, oh, that makes sense. I said, thank you. So yeah, we had a good understanding. And last one, if Spitz Stadium had a soundtrack, what song would be playing when the gates open?
Oh, geez. I think we go right back to our mantras. It'd either be Smash Mouth's I'm a Believer, yep, or Journey's Don't Stop Believing.
There you go. Real simple one there. Those will be playing all the time here at Spitz. Kevin, thank you very much for joining us on the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report. You had safe travels. You made it back one piece. With someday you'll have to talk about the no passport thing, but that's another story for another day. It's a thing. But anyways, there it was. Thank you very much, Kevin, for joining us on the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report on Rogers TV and the Maple Leaf Baseball Network YouTube channel.
This summer, there's only one place to be, and that's Spitz Stadium.
You can sit here. Or here. You can sit here. Or here. Or even here.
But not here. Get your tickets now at bullsbaseball.com and come experience Bulls baseball all summer long. It's going to be unbelievable.
Network YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report on Rogers TV and the Maple Leafs Baseball Network's YouTube channel. I'm today's Lethbridge Bulls junior reporter Nixon Fuller. Today I'm joined by the third baseman Will Turner. Will, this is your second summer in Lethbridge. What made you want to come back and play for the Bulls again?
The vibes around the team are really good, and it's a great atmosphere to play in. Love playing here at Spitz, and for the hometown crowd, it's super motivating, and you know, it makes you want to come back.
When you were a kid playing Little League, did you ever imagine you'd be playing summer ball in front of fans like this?
Oh, no, never. I was always better at hockey than I was at baseball for a long time, and you know, it's really cool to be a part of this and the vision that they're building here.
When you were 12 years old, like me, playing Little League, what position did you play, and did you ever hit a home run?
When I was 12, I was a pitcher and an outfielder, and I was bad at both of them. So then I turned 13, and they moved me to the infield, and I was a little better there. Did I ever hit a home run? I might have hit one with a metal bat, and I think that's about it.
What's your favorite part about playing in Spitz Stadium?
I mean, you know, going back to the atmosphere, like, it's just the fans here are really great to play in front of, and they're supportive, and you know, it's a lot of fun to show up here every day and want to you know, play good for them and put on a show here, and that's a big motivator for, I think, me and a lot of the other Bulls to come back and play and represent Lethbridge.
What's the funniest thing that happened in Lethbridge Bulls dugout?
Oh, that's a great one. I gotta think. Canada Day, we did the Timbit toss where we had to catch Timbits in our mouth, and that was a lot of fun because I won that competition, and that was a good ego boost for me. So I would say that for sure.
If you could switch positions with anyone on the team for one game, who would it be and why?
I would switch with Carter Claerhout, and I would play first base because it is so easy and so much fun to play.
What's your go-to pregame hype song?
Where the Wild Things Are by Luke Combs. It's a country song, but gets me going.
What advice would you give to the kids in Lethbridge who dreamed of playing for the Bulls one day?
Just, play the game you love. Have fun doing it. Don't try to put too much pressure on yourself. Just play, and the size will come and the skills will come. But if you love the game, you're gonna find success in it.
All right, that's it.
For sure. Thanks, dude.
Roll. That's it. Another edition of the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report on Rogers TV and the Maple Leaf Baseball Network YouTube channel. Thank you very much for all you who watched today. Make sure you go to bullsbaseball.com. Get your tickets. Group tickets are now on sale. Single game tickets are going on sale, I think, on March the 1st. So make sure you're first in line to make sure you get your tickets for Canada Day and everywhere else, because once those are gone, you can't get them. So bullsbaseball.com. Get your tickets today, and let's pack the stadium here in 2026. Horns up, and thanks for watching the Bullhorn Lethbridge Bulls Baseball Report.
For sponsorship opportunities with the Bulls, email partnerships@bullsbaseball.com. All Lethbridge Bulls home and away games can be seen live on Flow College. Are you a Bull lever? Want to be part of the Bulls in 2026? We're now recruiting volunteers for media, game day ops, and more. Join the herd today.